Hello, Seth. I want to play a game.
Paul Leahy, Saw.
This one's not fresh anymore. At least 3 weeks out. Victim's a 46-year-old male.
Most test subjects in the Saw movies get a minuscule 60 seconds to complete their tasks. Paul, on the other hand, gets a whopping 2 hours. That's because his task is practically impossible.
Hello, Paul. You are a perfectly healthy, sane, middle-class male.
Waking up in a basement, Paul finds himself stripped to his skivvies and surrounded by razor wiring. The exit door is wide open, but Paul has to traverse his spiky maze and endure deep lacerations to escape.
How much blood will you shed to stay alive, Paul?
He, of course, doesn't make it, his sense of panic getting the better of him. While this death isn't as flashy compared to where the series would go from here, it does lean well into the psychological angle of the scenario. We, for one, know we'd be too afraid to make it out ourselves. Michael Marks, Saw 2.
Hello, Michael. I want to play a game.
Sometimes it's the simplest traps that get the job done. Pretty much anyone can empathize with Abby being burnt alive in a coffin-sized furnace. But when it comes to sheer anticipation and execution, literally, it's hard to look over the Venus flytrap.
The device around your neck is a death mask. The mask is on a spring timer. If you do not locate the key in time, the mask will close. Think of it like a Venus flytrap.
Instead of a giant plant mouth, however, Michael's head is surrounded by 2 halves of an essential Iron Maiden. If he can't retrieve the key behind his eye within 60 seconds, well, we think you know what happens next.
Live or die. Make your choice.
We don't blame Michael for being unable to loot through his eye socket, but there is a kind of macabre satisfaction in watching the mask close. We don't see a lot, we definitely feel it. Timothy Young, Saw 3.
Hello, Jeff. If you are listening to this, that means that the confrontation you so long dreamed of is finally unfolding.
Saw 3 has a plethora of brutal deaths, primarily because some of them are designed by Amanda, who doesn't want her victims to escape, let alone without maximum pain incurred. While we'll pour a couple out for Troy and Carrie, it's Timothy's trap that's the most memorable. After all, the rack is Jigsaw's favorite.
The device Timothy is strapped to is my personal favorite. I call it the rack.
Each of Timothy's limbs and neck are winched in place, as the device will twist each of them until he's no more. Meanwhile, Jeff, whose son Timothy accidentally killed, has to endure a shotgun blast to retrieve the key to the device.
Are you willing
Have mercy.
to take a bullet for the man who killed your son? Does do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Apply here, Jeff. Make your choice.
Too distraught to act, Jeff forces us to watch as Timothy is slowly bent out of shape. By the time Jeff's finagled the key free, it's too late. Eric Matthews, Saw 4.
I don't want to play anymore.
The main protagonist of the second movie with a cameo appearance in 3, Eric Matthews is completely disheveled by the time he's reintroduced in 4. 6 months of captivity will do that to you. But he has a whole other problem when he's put in the ice block trap.
Here's the good news. If this other guy passes his test, then 3 of us can go free.
Hey, look at me. Look at me.
If you don't stay on the block, your partner gets electrocuted.
Matthews stands precariously on a melting block of ice with a noose around his neck on the other end. But Matthews doesn't get off that easy when the trap fails. Connected to the door are another pair of ice blocks, which, when Officer Rigg barges in, comes down on Eric's head.
Better hope he doesn't come through that door. Who's coming through the door?
As bad of a cop as Matthews was, we can't help but pity him. Whereas we won't be shedding a tear for someone like Ivan.
You have been handed the tools which can save your life. Decide quickly, though. In 60 seconds. The choice will be made for you.
Peter Strahm, Saw 5.
Hello, Agent Strahm. If you are hearing this, then you have once again found what you are looking for. Or so you think.
Mark Hoffman dispatches 2 of his enemies in this one.
In 30 seconds, the pendulum will drop far enough to touch your body. Within 60 seconds, it will cut you in half.
The movie starts with Hoffman getting revenge on the murderer of his sister with an unwinnable pendulum trap, and ends with him getting rid of his rival, Agent Peter Strahm. Strahm tracks Hoffman to one of Jigsaw's lairs, coming across a coffin filled with glass shards.
The only way to survive this room is by entering the glass box before you. Pain will be incurred, but you have a chance of survival.
A tape from Hoffman instructs Strahm to climb inside, but the latter is hardly the trusting type. A confrontation between the two ends with Strahm locking Hoffman in the coffin, only for it to lower and the walls to start closing in.
I ask you, Special Agent Strahm, have you learned enough to trust me?
Hoffman survives, whereas Strahm can do little more than scream as he's crushed beyond recognition. William Easton, Saw 6. This was a tricky one, as we almost went with the carousel trap for its ingenuity and compelling its participants to turn on one another. However, death by shotgun was a bit too banal for something as creative as Saw.
What's the thing? What's the thing?
Instead, we're opting for the death of William Easton. After enduring a series of trials, William is confronted by the wife and son of a man who died because William coldly denied him medical coverage.
Will you grant this man the opportunity to continue living, or will you dispense the same death sentence he issued your husband? Live or die. The choice is yours.
Now they're given the opportunity to have their revenge, as the young Brent opts to execute William with an injection of hydrofluoric acid.
Now you burn in hell.
Meanwhile, Williams' sister can only look on helplessly as he's essentially melted from the inside out. It's a seriously grisly death.
Because the dead will have no claim over your soul. You may be mistaken.
Jill Tuck, Saw 3D. While hardly the franchise's finest installment, the purported final chapter doesn't skimp on the bloodletting. That's for sure.
Remember, the spikes will also advance each time the decibel level in this room rises above a whisper, killing her even sooner.
Both Nina and Suzanne end up on the wrong end of some sharpened rods. There's a brazen bull, and even a band of racists end up in quite a wreck.
In 30 seconds, the jacks holding up this car will fall.
But we'd be remiss if we didn't recognize the granddaddy of all Saw traps, the reverse bear trap. 6 installments after narrowly missing Amanda and 1 after Mark Hoffman escapes its literal jaws of death, we finally get to see it do its thing at the expense of Jill Tuck. Hoffman's able to track her down and outfit her with the device. Only there's not even a key to throw away. Absolutely merciless.
Game over.
Brad Halloran, Jigsaw.
Hello, gentlemen. You came looking for the game. Congratulations. You found it.
While certainly no slouch when it comes to civil engineering, we wouldn't call Jigsaw a high-tech killer per se. That is not the case when it comes to his protege, Logan Nelson.
No, stop! Stop it! Stop it!
I confess.
Okay, all right, John Kramer, it was me!
At this point, we're unaware of Logan's antagonist status. So when he and corrupt detective Brad Halloran wake up with laser collars around their necks, we're genuinely afraid for Logan's safety. Halloran, not so much.
People died because of me! Innocent people died because of me! I did it!
After it seems like Logan has bit the big one, Halloran is forced to confess to his many crimes. Then, in classic Jigsaw fashion, Logan slowly rises and reveals himself as the new Jigsaw.
You're working man.
I am him.
While Logan's collar was all show, Halloran's is very much real, and it turns his head into a very disgusting flower. Angie Garza, Spiral. It's no secret that the copycat Jigsaw in Spiral has no love lost for corrupt police officers.
You have taken the witness stand many times and railroaded innocent people with your lies, putting them away in jail. Today, it is you who will be railroaded.
Detectives Boswick and Fitch go through quite the ordeal before being hit by a subway train and electrocuted, respectively. But we'd argue that Captain Garza has the most memorable demise. After covering for corruption, Garza finds herself attacked by Old Pig Mask and placed in a trap whereby she has to sever her own spinal cord, else hot wax sear her face and suffocate her. Despite giving it the old college try, Garza can't complete the task, and Detective Zeke Banks is too late to save her. If Jigsaw tells you to do something, you do it, else you end up like Captain Garza. What's your favorite Saw kill? Sock it to us in the comments.
I speak for the dead.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.